Hi, my name is Nikki Carnes, and my team members are Maria Perez and Cornelius Tucker. The form of communication that we're going to be addressing today is student-teacher communication. And there's three barriers that we're going to be talking about as well. The first one is lack of interest. The second is use of jargon, and the third is information overload. The specific barrier that I'm going to be talking about in my part of the presentation is lack of interest. We've all been in a classroom where the lesson is so boring that all the information is just coming in one ear and out the other, and you can't really retain any of the things that are being taught to you because it's just not engaging. And then on the other hand, we've all been in a class where you're really engaged, you just want to know more, and you're taking in everything, soaking it in like a sponge. That's because there's a difference between good and bad teaching methods. A good teacher will be engaging, drive home key information, make sure everyone in the room knows what's going on, and be entertaining at the same time. Some bad teaching methods would be dull, uninspiring, and probably hard to stay awake during, as stated by Leon Robertson on Pedro skills. The negative effects of boredom are pretty clear, and it's been found that boredom can even lead to deterioration of nerve cells in the hippocampus. So whenever you're doodling or tapping your foot or twiddling your fingers, it could be your brain protecting you from that deterioration. And in class, whenever a teacher is not engaging, it can lead to boredom for the student. And then they start tapping their toes or doing things that are considered distracting in the classroom. They get punished, and it leads to a lot of stress for them. And it can become a vicious cycle in the classroom, as stated by Jennifer Fox on HuffPost. You might ask how bad it really is. And it's actually been found that 75% of students report negative feelings towards school. And stress and boredom are the most reported emotions students have when at school, with nearly 80% of students experiencing stress and almost 70% experiencing boredom. And this is stated by Britta Belli on Yale News. There's a lot of different types of engagement, and each student is engaged in different ways, so you're probably not going to hit every pinpoint with every student. No one could. The first one is behavioral. This is a student's participation in class, just generally participating. The next one is emotional. This is a student's feelings in class. How do you make them feel in the class, and how do they make others feel in the class? Then there's intellectual. This is a student's motivation in the class. How motivated are they to even be there? Cultural is a student's feeling of acceptance whenever they're from a different cultural background. And then there's social, and this is how they participate in collaborative activities in the class. Some good ways to engage students is to relate class content to student lives. And to use technology. That's a big one, especially in today's classroom with modern students. The third one is to make it interactive. This is how their brains engage with the lesson and how they're going to soak in the information instead of out the other ear. And the last is to give them choices, even if it's just by a raise of the hand. Just ask the class how they would prefer to learn, if that's an applicable thing to do with the lesson they're teaching. Some of the benefits of engagement in the classroom is that the students are more prepared for the future because they're actually learning what they're being taught instead of just coming to school and tapping their foot. Increased attendance because they won't associate school with boredom and stress, and they'll be more likely to come. And improvement of behavior because their brain won't be trying to fight off boredom, so they'll just focus and be engaged. Don't get me wrong, it's not always the teacher lack of engagement that causes issues in the classroom. It can also be that the students are not coming to class wanting to be engaged. If you're a student and you struggle with this, some good tips is to sit near the front of the classroom, to put your phone away, just turn it off, to participate, ask questions, or at least think of questions that you could ask after class. Eat a healthy breakfast. It's cliche, but it actually helps. And take good notes. And get a good night's sleep as well. Hopefully with the use of these tips, teachers and students alike can have a better class experience, and teachers will feel better about connecting with the students more, and students can actually learn what they're coming to school to learn. The next presenter is Maria Perez on use of jargon.